Yo, welcome to the Gangcast, aka the Games and Not Games podcast. I'm Janet Garcia, and joining me as always is Isaiah Smith.
Hello!
Today we are going to be talking about our sort of solo quests within games, which is just a fancy way of saying what we've been playing. You got some games, I got some games. We'll eventually cross over again. And then for not games, I finally finished Demon Slayer. I have formed opinions. Isaiah's witnessed my process. So we're gonna do a sort of spoiler-free general series review. Isaiah's gonna help come up with what my next anime should be, and then we'll get into a more spoilery segment about the show and the movies, because there's 2 movies that exist in the Demon Slayer universe. And to tease it, we did not know anything going into the last movie. If you know, you know. So yeah, might want to stick around for that if you're aware, or if you just don't care about the spoilers. You know, live your life. But how are you doing today, Isaiah? It's Friday night, and we're being very responsible, recording the podcast at a nice early time, pre-weekend.
Yeah. I have optimal, maximum time to do editing and uploading and all that fun stuff. So
only you can ruin your weekend now.
Yeah, right. You would think. We'll see. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, I'll have done my job, so I feel good about that. But are you ready to talk games?
Let's talk games.
All right, Isaiah, what the hell's going on with Marathon? Why are you playing this? What's happening? At first, it kind of felt like you were doing a bit. Now it seems like it's real.
No, it's real.
What's up with this? What is your history with Bungie? I didn't even know you had a history with Bungie. You think you know somebody, and now it's like, who the hell did I marry?
I mean, to say I had a history with Bungie is a little strong. I was late to the Bungie crowd, right? Because again, I grew up PlayStation, and Bungie historically was all Xbox with Halo. I did eventually get in the 360 era. Yeah.
What the hell?
Halo?
Yeah,
Bungie did Halo.
Yeah, I guess
that's like their big claim to fame.
Well, but like, who does Halo now?
Someone took it over. Probably like 343, I think.
Right. Because that threw me through a loop for a second. I did know that. I think I just forgot it. Like in this exact instance, I was like, "What?" That feels like a million years ago.
It's changed hands, right? You know, like when Microsoft owns the rights to Halo, PlayStation owns Bungie now and all their future projects, but Bungie themselves own Destiny or something like that. There's some weird owner love triangle going on there, but yeah, Bungie did the original Halo, at least trilogy. Maybe they did 4, that I don't remember, but I know they did 1, 2, and 3. I came late to it during the 360 era. I got my hands on like an original Xbox and played Halo 1 and 2 for the first time. Great time, fun, loved it. I don't think I've actually ever played the campaign for Halo 3 just because I never owned a 360. But I know that like the Master Chief Collection is now out on like PC and Xbox One and Series X, and you play it on any Xbox, and maybe even like Nvidia Cloud and stuff like that now at this point. So at some point I do want to go in and like redo the Master Chief Collection start to finish, just so I can like kind of have that under my belt. But all I have to say, was not a huge, Halo fan growing up just because I didn't have the console. But I would play it at friends' houses and, liked Halo 3 enough to appreciate it and, everything like that. It wasn't until Destiny came out that I was like, all right, now I'm on this Bungie train, like from the jump. Like I'm going to be there, Bungie, day 1, season 1. We're jumping into the Crucible and, going to Mars and Venus and all these things and getting our weapons and doing runs and everything like that and raids and everything. It was great. Had a lot of fun. Sometime between Bungie 1 and 2 I fell off, or between Bungie 1 and 2, Destiny 1 and 2 I fell off. Destiny 2 came out. I think I did buy it, but to be honest, I did not play it very much. No, for no other reason than like I just played other things. A lot of my friends weren't playing Destiny anymore. So, inherently my friend group kind of just moved on. We played other things and had other fun. But then our good friend Justin came through and was like, yo, Isaiah, this Marathon game pretty good. And I was like, oh, I never played an extraction shooter. I know Arc Raiders was one. I tried to see if you were interested in that, Janet, and You didn't seem the most interested.
Nah,
I want to try
the
an
AI
extraction
voice
shooter.
actor thing kind of like put me off to it. If I'm being honest.
And
And I know
fair.
they've since
That's
gone in
fair.
and they're like, we're putting in real voices now. But I'm like, I don't know. It's a little. It no takesies backsies, I feel like. So I kind of just let the ship pass. But also,
no
I'm not.
Backsies is crazy.
I'm not a big extraction shooter or a shooter person in general anyway. So it's also like, I'm not exactly falling on my sword by skipping the game. But it did kind of put me off to the idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, well, I want to play an extraction shooter. This seems like it's going to be my only shot to try it. It happens to be Bungie. I know Bungie does great gameplay or gunplay. I knew that from my time with Destiny. So I was like, you know what? Sure. I'll get Marathon. We'll hop on. You'll show me the ropes. And I missed the Server Slam. I know before Marathon dropped, they did like a Server Slam weekend, which I think you streamed with Remap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I know you had a little bit of history with it.
I'm why they patched
enjoyed
the
it. Fun.
tutorial.
Yeah.
Because I got soft locked out of the tutorial because I went inside of the building and then immediately exited the building and the door closed and it locked permanently. So, yeah, I was there.
You would think they'd have tested that.
They never
really
saw
funny.
anyone play like me before, and they said, "Whoa, didn't even know this could happen to somebody." Yeah, so yeah, I did play a little bit.
Yeah, so hopped on Marathon with a friend. He showed me the ropes. I'm in there. I'm extracting out. I'm getting some weapons. I'm getting some greens, some blues, a couple purples here and there. I'm dying. I'm leaving stuff. I'm shooting people. I'm killing people. Originally, I did try to use this. I'm playing on PC. I tried to use this as a keyboard and mouse learning session kind of thing. Like, what if I just only play this game with keyboard and mouse? Immediately found out that that's just not going to happen because people shoot on sight in this game, and it's multiplayer, right? Like it's PvP. People are just inherently not friendly. I find in this shooter, at least in this extraction shooter. So I'm like, let me just use controller so I at least have a fun time while I'm playing, and I'll just leave the keyboard and mouse for my single player game that I'm playing, which we can talk about some other time. I'm sure it's Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Finally,
which also doesn't feel like that. Also just feels random to me.
Randomly, my barber recommended it. He's a big fan of it. He enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? All right. He cuts good hair. Maybe he has good game taste. And so far, so good.
All right.
He's 1 for 1.
Tell him to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So
that's
how's it been going?
So far, it's been good. Like I said, people can get real sweaty in this game. You would think for what I hear from like Arc Raiders, it seems like it's PvPvE kind of thing where like there's enemies that everyone can fight against, but then you can also fight against other real players. But it seems like the gist is that the player base is pretty friendly, and that like unless you screw someone else over, like they're going to be willing to work with you. They're going to be happy to kind of collaboratively defeat the enemy or do whatever, get the loot, and then extract out. Marathon that is the opposite of what I found with Marathon so far. So far, it's been if you see an enemy, you shoot on sight. If you if you try to be friendly, maybe like 1 out of 20 times you'll find someone who's like, all right, fine, I'll leave you alone. Don't look at me though. I'll back away. You back away. We're good. It seems like it's a very people are in there to try and just shoot people and cause havoc. And there's things in the game that like definitely incentivize being more aggressive towards other players. There's like a whole faction. There are factions in the game that you kind of like build reputation with. And one of the factions, in order to build the reputation, they're a very like anarchist kind of faction. So they want you to go out and kill other players and loot other players and, basically do these like kind of chaotic runs and things like that. And so like, if some people are going for that reputation, they're inherently forced to kind of be a bit more aggressive. I don't like that, but at the same time, I kind of want that reputation, so I'm also doing it. It's not a great feeling. I do wish they added in some PvE mode only, or like at least like an ability to, honor system mark yourself as like non-aggressive or something like that. Like if there's like a flag or something you could put on your little like avatar or something like that, just to show like, hey, I'm not trying to mess with you. Please don't mess with me. I'm just here doing my run, collecting my stuff, trying to get out. that I think would go a long way. And maybe that's something they'll do. They seem to be listening to the community. I was talking to Justin, who's like, 150, 160, 170 hours plus into the game.
Oh my God.
He plays
Didn't
it
it
all
come
the
out
time.
like
He's
2
really
weeks ago or
good.
something?
Something like that, yeah. He's telling me about like how like they listen to the community, all the updates, they'll like add in items or rebalance things that people have had a real big problem with, and the season drops that they're doing seem to be like fairly reactionary to the feedback they're getting, and like trying to really ebb and flow the system into a way that like makes the player base happy and everything like that. So I'm hopeful that at some point we'll get some non-aggressive on-site mode or map or feature or something to just show players like, hey, I'm just trying to have a good time, not a hard time. You know what I mean?
The factions are that's different than like the classes though, right? Or is that the one the same? Because there's also like, so there's different classes. Do you know, one, what the classes are, and then two, what are you like maining in, or are you kind of just like trying to be a generalist? Like, what's the situation been as you've been getting those hours up there?
Yeah, the factions are separate from the classes. The classes are in a traditional sense of classes. It's like kind of what your general playstyle loadout is going to be. I play as the assassin. There's like 6 classes, I think, 7 if you count like a non-class class. That's kind of like in lore, it's like a beta prototype kind of body that you can spawn in with, and it's got its own restrictions and stuff like that. But effectively there's like 6 main classes. There's like a bruiser, there's an agility person, there's a thief who's like all about stealing stuff. I play the assassin, who's like, they have a smoke grenade kind of ability, and when they're in smoke they're invisible, and they can do stuff that like makes them sneaky, which for me is great because again, I'm trying to get out of firefights half the time, so being able to just go invisible and run out the building and run away somewhere else is great. But I have tried some of the other ones. There's like some really cool ones, like the thief. I think it's a thief. They have like a little drone friend that you can like control and then like go
and they heal
fly
people,
around
right?
the map, and then they can. No, that's the like medic.
It's the medic, and they have a
class.
drone.
Yeah.
So everybody has a drone.
They have a cool one. Yeah. Everyone has like the abilities are cool. Like all the classes, like special abilities and ultimates, feel very like specific to their class in a way that makes them all feel unique and different from one another. But I've just gone my play style. I've just gone all in on assassin. He looks weird. He looks a little sketchy, from being honest, but looks aside, he's got some cool colors that you can unlock and skins and stuff. So I'm having a good time with him. Do you remember who you played during the Server Slam, or like what your experience was back then?
Oh man, I don't know. What's like the most basic person you could? Because I remember I jumped online and I said, who's the Soldier 76 of Marathon? And they gave me that person. I don't remember who that would have been though offhand.
I think it's probably the Destroyer. They seem to be the like just general.
Oh, who has a big
guy.
shield? Is that the Destroyer?
Ooh, no, I don't think so.
Right? Did I
think it's someone
hallucinate
else,
that
but I
there's a
know
big
who
shield?
you're talking. I know. No. There is someone who has like a shield.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So I played as them because I think I tried maybe 2 different classes, but I definitely played as the shield person for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see the assassin now. I see what you mean. They kind of have like, I don't know. They have a nefarious energy to them. They kind of look a little edgelordy. They look like they're gonna
right?
like. It's giving like we have. Why am I blanking on? Like we have Anonymous
the Destroyer
at home.
does have the shield.
Okay, so then the Destroyer. Yeah, that's who I was. Maybe
Yeah.
I did one other one. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I was ever the medic, or I don't think so, because you can have a dead medic. I don't. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So on that note too, the multiplayer of it all, there is a solo queue where I forget what it's called, but you're like, you have a different name or something. Are you still a runner? Like,
that's the Rook. That's like the kind of
the
like
Rook. There we go. Yeah.
extra class kind of thing that you can use to load in. And they're special in that for all the normal shells, when you go to load into a game, you're loading into the beginning of a game. Like it'll queue you up, it'll wait for other players, and then you start a game. Everyone starts at the same time, spread around the map. you go, you do your missions, you do whatever. If you play as a rook, which is a solo only, so you can't do like a team of rooks to go in. You can't queue as a team of rooks, at least. You have to go in solo, and you go in with this guy, and I think they even like choose what weapon loadout stuff you have. But the idea is that you're going into the middle of a game, so I think it's a game that's at least 2/3 through. You spawn in to kind of like keep the game active, keep it kind of lively. You do look different, and I guess like the community has kind of started to band itself around like special rook rules of play, where it's like rooks are friendly to other rooks, and sometimes the rooks will band together. Even again, it's everyone for themselves, but like the community is kind of like gravitated towards this, like, oh, the rooks band together, and then they just like wreak havoc on the other runners and the other players. So I think that's kind of cool. I want to try rook. I haven't tried it yet. I was planning on trying some of this
Oh,
weekend.
you haven't tried it at all? I'm surprised by that.
No.
That would have been one of the first things I did, because I don't want to be with anybody, which is why I don't play these games.
You can still play solo. Like, you can be any of the other, like, you could be the assassin solo or the destroyer solo, and that's what I've been doing.
It's harder.
I just haven't done the rook. It is hard. It is very hard, yeah.
When you're playing with Justin, are you guys on comms with like because it goes up to, is it 3 or 4?
Squads of 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
so
talking
we'll
to the rando?
We just go ourselves. We just run a duo.
Right. Which is also harder than
easily.
Having a full squad.
Yes.
Damn, if
we're
only
down
you guys
person,
knew a third person. So I don't know.
If only we had a third that would join us. It'd be great.
I feel like I'm trying to imagine a world where that isn't kind of a traumatic experience. I didn't dislike my time playing Marathon with Remap. It was pretty chill, but it's also a different setting. It's like a stream. And I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to games like this, like games that are shooters, I just feel like I'm not good at shooting, and I never seem to get better. Is the thing. And when you're not that good in a game like this, it's almost a little bit boring, and you don't really like, you get all of the tasks, but with none of the magic for the most part, because like the odds of you like clutching or having like a really cool thing like are pretty low. Like, you're probably just gonna die and have to get rezzed again, and and a lot of times I'm the last one standing because I'm so unaggressive and cowardly. But then I can't do anything to help anybody, so now I'm just like, everyone's spectating me dying, and then it's like, all right, and then we run it back. And it's not bad, but it's not good.
It's not a great time. No, I felt that way playing with Justin, where like he very much carried me. Like, he's going into the fight. He knows the map more, so he knows like where the sight lines are and where to hide behind and shortcuts and things like that. And I'm just like, all right, I'll just follow you. Like, you tell me where to go, what to do. So I totally get that.
I don't really love the feeling, and this is from an outsider perspective, of it feels like nothing's happening and there's nothing to do, and then suddenly there is a lot to do.
Everything to do, yeah.
And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? I got into the pacing feels kind of funny to me. One thing I do like about the game, though, is that you can be dead and still like, extract, as long as you're on the extraction point, and like if you're downed. Well, again, not down. You can be downed and extract it. That's how I got out of the tutorial. So, which gives you a sense of where my skill level is at. But yeah, like I struggle with games like this for those reasons, because I just don't have the background in it, and it's something that made it makes the exceptions in the shooter genre really fun, because I like never get to be there, and I'm like, now I'm here and having fun. Like, Helldivers was fun, even though I didn't put like wild hours into that, but it felt like Helldivers I really could do different things and still contribute. And in Marathon, I feel like I'm trying to just follow instructions, but I'm not like very good just in general. So it's like, well, it's like, if you tell me to like be behind this rock, I'll do that. And if you tell me to follow you here, I'll do that. But like, when it comes to, by the time, like in shooters, by the time I know what's going on, I've already lost like half my health, is the kind of general situation. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. But it wasn't a bad time. I've had worse times, which I guess maybe is like a sign that like this game might be good, because it wasn't like awful to play as like an outsider. I like the art style a lot. The colorfulness of the world, the fondant look, as coined by a Remap chatter who said it looks like the world's covered in fondant, and it does. And I love that, because I love looking at a game and feeling like I want to take a bite out of it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I don't know that I'm that I'm jumping in with you on it, just because I'm like, and then those, like, I don't know, those experiences are always so weird too, because it's like everyone else will be having fun and I simply am there.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, and they're like, that was great, we should try again. And I'm like, maybe.
Do we have to?
maybe later. I'm full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have mine in the bathroom.
Yeah, because I don't know how to develop excitement. I don't know how to find the fun in a game like this in a lot of ways. Like, I think it is fun to like fight people and to not die for sure, but it's like, I don't know, like the rush doesn't give me a rush. I mostly am just dead.
How do you feel about Fortnite? Because you love Fortnite.
Love Fortnite.
Or at least you used to love playing it.
Problematic fave game,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like do you find it hard to find the fun in that, or is it like just something about it that's just like, oh, it's dumb, like it's quicker, it's more, it's less serious because it's inherently a funky game, you know?
There's so many things about it. They really popped off when they had the no build. That's when I became a Fortnite stan. Because before that, I'm like, I don't know how to build and I can't build. And then they're like, you don't have to, and I'm like, great. It's the only mode I play. Obviously that's like a little bit apples to oranges, because it's like they're both shooters, but one's like an extraction shooter and one is a battle royale, so they are like obviously doing different things. I find Fortnite really fun because you don't have to, like, which technically here you don't have to shoot anyone either, because you just have to extract, but like I don't have to do anything in Fortnite and I can still win. They also like balance it in a way that is definitely like, oh, you haven't played in a while, oh, you won, or whatever. So that's kind of fun. It's a lot easier to get carried in Fortnite, especially with the updates they've had of like the revive bus and stuff. And there's different jobs you can also have in Fortnite. Like, I'm often the driver because at least it gives me something to do. And it's like, cool, I'm participating. It's also, I feel like the amount that you have to loot is also just like inherently more simplistic. Obviously, Marathon's also about like going in and getting loot, but like I don't really know what's going on with that. They still have like color rarity, so like I know that element of it, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't get as like easy of a sense of things. Yeah, and I don't get a sense of like what gun's exciting to me as easily, because the guns are more varied. While like in Fortnite, it's like, this is a shotgun, this is an AK-47. And I'm like, okay, I know that one goes, but you know, the SMG is like an AK-47 but tiny, you know, in my mind, because I don't play a lot of shooters. The sniper's a sniper. It's a cool, like, yeah, okay. Yeah, plus the fun of just, you know, my stupid skins and my dumb little emotes. Yeah, like it's just it feels just like easier, like more straightforward, even though like when I play with someone who hasn't played in a long time, there's like 20 things to explain to them. It's like, oh, actually, hold on, stay there, I'm gonna throw some juice on you. Okay, so your shields are like this much and you don't want to take the, like, I don't think Fortnite's by any means a complicated game, but it is one of those games where like if I play with someone who hasn't played before, there's like more to explain than you might think. But yeah, I wish you liked Fortnite. Every day I wake up hoping that you like Fortnite. Maybe one day I gotta get like some fun Fortnite duo things on your For You page, because that's how you ended up playing Overcooked with me.
Yeah, you were sitting there whispering into the microphone at
night. Can I ask you a question, but you have to be honest?
Sure.
Okay, I'm scared. Is one of the reasons you don't like playing Fortnite with me because I'm not good?
Oh, no. Like, I don't... For a game like that, obviously it's fun to win, right? It's fun to do well. But I don't need to do well to have fun. Like, I can find fun in the interaction of playing with someone else. Like, oh, we come across another team, or we find someone lacking and we get them, then we're teaming up on them and we're like, oh, you go around the rock, I'll chase them this way. You know, like yeah. I find just moments like that fun. I don't need to get the crown to have a good time, you know?
Okay.
But the crown is nice. The crown is nice to get. I'd be lying if I said it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's the Fortnite.
But there's anime
moves
in there,
too
Isaiah.
fast for me, and I like that, but it's too fast for me. Like,
is
not only is the gameplay very fast, but like the meta of the game also is very fast. Like, things are constantly changing. The map is always changing. The guns are always changing. The power-ups are always changing. Everything's always changing, which is great for someone who lives in that world. They don't get bored. But for someone who has never settled in that world, it's daunting, you know?
Yeah, I can get that. So what are your dreams and aspirations with Marathon? Because it's like, are you getting does it have a season pass? Are you getting the season pass? Are you gonna spend money on this?
So it's
Do
a
you
paid
want
game.
Bungie
So
to succeed?
yeah, right. I bought the game. I did not pay for any extra bundle skins kind of thing. It seems like most of the stuff that is in the game, like they have some paid stuff, but I think that is all cosmetic. It seems like everything in the game that is like gear wise or like mechanic kind of driven is like stuff you just get on runs. Now sometimes you got to do really good or get really lucky or blah blah blah, but it doesn't seem like there's any pay to win scenario. So I don't think I have to spend any more money, which is great, because I didn't want to, because $40 is not a lot, but for how much time I might have left in this game if I don't get better, $40 is a lot. So yeah, I don't want to spend any more money. I want to have a little bit more time with it, have a little bit more fun, squeeze a little bit more juice out of this lemon, and then probably move on to something else. Yeah, but I could also see it being a game that I just constantly come back to every once in a while. Like your Fortnite, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Fortnite, always one step away. Again, if you were down to play, I would play that thing all the time. No shade to my other friends that play, but it's just easier to play because it's like you're right there all the time versus like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And then also when I play with somebody, I feel like I should be there for a little while, like an hour or two. Like I don't feel like I can like casual, and you know, maybe that's my own projections. I'm sure my friends listening would say, no, we would jump in for an hour for one match, but it's like, I don't know. It feels rude. Like I stopped by your house.
It's not the
and
same
I left
like doing
immediately.
a Slay the Spire run, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which we still have that as our big multiplayer game. I have been playing Silksong Act 3 for shorter than I would like because I have to finish it. Well, I don't have to finish it, but like, okay, so we're doing the Spoilercast for Remap on, at the time of recording, this coming Wednesday. And still this coming Wednesday if you're listening on Monday when it comes out. I've always known I'm not going to finish it because I don't even know if I can finish it. So I'm like, I never promised I'd finish it, but I'm like, oh, I want to at least play it. Let me know when it's going to be, and I'll make sure I'm playing it. So it got put on the calendar like a week or so ago. And unfortunately, I did have other games I kind of needed to play, at least for my own peace of mind. I'll get into this more later with how I'm trying to, my new system, quote unquote, for organizing my games and trying to stay on top of my games. But I didn't want to juggle too much. But that also means that I didn't touch Silksong as much as I wanted to in the last like week or so. So now I'm like, okay, the plate is clear again. Silksong's got the reins. Let's go, baby. This shit's hard as fuck. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised because that's the point of it. It's like, oh, it's like the soup for the sickos. It's like you really want to kick it up, you know? It's like the ultra spicy. You know, when you go to a restaurant, they're like, do you want the abomination? But the thing is, when you go to the restaurant and you ask for the abomination, it's spicy. It's maybe even too spicy to enjoy, but it's never quite as spicy as you think it is. This was like the opposite. It was much spicier than I thought it would be because when you start, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but when you start getting into Act 3, it's like, oh, I see how this is harder. And then you like, I got a little further in and I was like, this is actually like impossible.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? And why didn't you tell me that?
I couldn't. I had to let you just experience it for yourself. That was the
You made me look like a fool in front of our cat.
Yeah, no, I remember looking over and not in a like mean or belittling way or anything like that, but I was seeing you fight the Belt Eater in order to like re-unlock the fast travel stuff, and I remember seeing you have a rough time, and I think a part of that was just like you were rusty coming back to it because like you hadn't played since you originally beat it.
That's very nice of you to say. That was all me in that Belt Eater fight, but you're very kind.
It gave flashbacks to when you were fighting like the Silk Mother, or not Silk Mother, the something sister or whatever it was, that like enemy who
the one that slashes forward and has the balls that like fall. Or do you mean Lace?
No, the it was like one of the earlier enemy or one of the earlier bosses who like she like grows vines on the side and then she like hits like down at you
something
from the ceiling.
Sister. Let me look her up. Sister Splinter.
Sister. Yeah, that sounds right. It very much gave me flashbacks to that fight, like watching you do that fight and like you just hitting your head against it and like
they are
getting
kind of
so
similar
close.
fights. which is kind of funny.
Just falling short and then trying again and getting so close and just falling short. And I was like, I don't know if you're going to say you're having fun, and I don't know if you're going to keep going, you know, but you did get past it. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe we got something here. Maybe
thank God those poison tools, baby. I spammed the fuck out of those, but I really risked it because I'm like, I don't have a lot of materials to make more tools, which is why that's generally why I don't like to use the tools as this is my own perception. I'm not good enough. I'm going to use the tools because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If they let you just use the tools, I would just be spamming tools all day. If it was just like free tool time, sure.
Yeah.
They don't. They cost like a material. It's like a currency that you get in the world. So, and you can only craft them at the bench for the most part. There's a crest that lets you craft on the go with silk technically, which I finally figured that out because I was asking about the architect. There's an architect crest, and that lets you craft tools with silk. That's how they're crafted. Because I was asking like, is this with like the material still, or is it like no, it's with silk, which is pretty cool. But the problem is I also need my silk to do other things like to heal or whatever, so that becomes a mess. But I think I did beat it with I think I put the architect's crest on for the I don't know if they call him Bell Beast still, the second Bell Beast or whatever.
He's a Bell Eater.
The Bell Eater, yeah. And I tools the hell out of him, and it was great.
Hey man,
and I was
that's
like, thank
part
God.
of the game. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that was a lot. It sucks because it wasn't even a hard fight. It just was like I feel like so much of this game, which was true in Act 1 and 2, and is definitely true in Act 3, where it's like, hey, this isn't that hard, but we create a context where this is suddenly really hard. Because it's like, the moves are pretty simplistic, but like just like the area of attack is like just big enough, and you can get in this weird corner, and you have to do it for long enough that it's just like, this is just a pain in the ass. Yeah, and it was a pain in the ass. Yeah. And then I kept on going. And then I was like, okay, they have like really good, and I'm still very early in Act 3, which I might not get that much farther by the time we do the Spoilercast for a remap, but I really like the platforming in Act 3 a lot. It's like much harder and also more present, and I'm like, this is great because I love platforming, so yay. Then I got a little farther and I'm like, oh, this is what we're really doing. Never mind, because another thing with Act 3 is like it has enemies that are sort of like corrupted. They have like this black goop on them, and then they are like stronger and they do like crazier attacks. And I was like, oh, this is how it's harder. Cool, that makes sense. And I'm sure, you know, the bosses will be there and they'll be a pain in the ass or whatever. But yeah, like it just seems like it's like it felt like it jumped like a lot, where the things it's asking me to do, I'm like, I thought you decided you didn't want to like design the game that way, kind of thing. They're like, well, as a special treat, the few breaks we did give you are gone. And it's like, I don't know if I wanted that. Like, I actually kind of like the things you gave me. So yeah, I don't know. It was pretty discouraging. I had a pretty discouraging evening the night before, but that's happened to me a lot with Silksong, where like in Act 1 and Act 2, maybe more Act 1 than Act 2, because I was earlier in the game as well. There would be those moments where I'm like, guys, I think this is the thing that makes me decide I'm not going to continue with the game. And I've always pushed past it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I decided to, you know, pick myself up and try again, as Aaliyah said. That's what she would have wanted.
How far do you want to share? How far you've gotten, and where is your current hurdle at in Act 3? Or are you just like,
yeah,
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I'll give a little share. I guess I should have also couched like light spoilers for 2 minutes of Act 3, you know, kind of thing. But I feel like it's fine. Yeah, I'm in the Coral Tower. Which, mind you, like they do that thing where they're like, here are dots on the map that you can go to. I could have chosen any fucking place, but I chose this goddamn Coral Tower. And yeah, it was just like, it was just awful because it's basically you get there and then there's an arena, and I did the arena, and I did it on my first try, and I said, wow, I'm so fucking good at the game. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Silksong was written about me. This is crazy. Then I go to the right, and then I go up. I go to the left. I said, this is like another arena. Damn, another arena? And I said, wait, Isaiah, are they? Because typically what they do with arena fights is once you clear the arena is cleared. You don't have to go to another bench. You don't have to pass go. You don't have to collect $200. It's just cleared. Once you clear it, it's cleared forever.
Good. Yeah.
And I said, wait, Isaiah, they're not going to make me do this back to back, are they? And then you started laughing. And then I said, after this, is there another arena? And then you kept laughing. And then I said, wait. Actually, I don't know if I guessed the boss thing. Maybe you told me that there's a boss after four consecutive arenas. You get a little walk break in between, but it's not much. And like a couple soft enemies. I'm sure one of those things is going to secretly be hard to hit for no reason because they're assholes.
And you have a shortcut you can unlock, you know?
Yes, after the third arena.
To skip some of
I got really far. Today I went back and decided to try it again against your recommendation. I asked you, like, should I keep going or should I just go somewhere else? Because people have said there's other things you can do. So I'm like, great. Okay, I'll probably do those other things. And you're like, yeah, I'll probably just dip. I'm like, let me just give it another try. I'm taking a break between cleaning. Let me try it. I have my clicker. I'm like, I'm going to do 12 deaths. If 12 deaths in, I feel like I'm actually really making some good progress, like in a way that makes me feel the extra deaths will be worth it. Maybe I'll continue. And I did end in a better space that I got farther than I'd gotten before, but not enough for me to want to continue. I don't even know if it was deep into the second arena, because the second arena does not end.
It is
like
very long.
I have no confidence. And then Isaiah also said that like that every arena is harder than the last, and the second one seems really fucking hard. So
Yeah.
what the fuck's in that third arena? Grandmother Silk's in there? What's going on? Though mind you, she's not even that hard of a boss, but you know, like comparatively.
Honestly, I would have taken her again. You know what I mean? Instead of some of the arena stuff. Yeah, no, it's
so
not easy.
yeah, yeah, no, it's like really, really fucked up stuff that they're doing, and every time that you think this is probably gonna be the last thing in the arena, there's another thing in arena 2 specifically. Arena 1, it kind of makes sense. I do think they do that cheap thing of like, they're like, okay, you're gonna fight Dave and Becky. Okay, now you're gonna fight Adam and Scott. Okay, now you're gonna fight Becky and Scott. And it's like, find a new enemy or end the arena, because you obviously didn't have any other ideas, and now you're bringing back this guy again. I don't know. Haters might say it's like, well, you have a familiarity with the enemy now, so it's like making it balanced and fair. I feel like you ran out of ideas and you just started. This is like in Metroid Dread when I fought the Chows, like 8 Chows in a row.
Man.
Oh my god, I got so bad during that game.
Crazy night. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's like not been good. I'm at the point in Act 3, even though I'm very early still, where I'm like, actually, guys, maybe don't come in here. Like, I kind of feel guilty because I've been online being like, I'm doing Act 3, like for the Spoilercast, I'm trying Act 3. And people are like, oh my god, you went back to Act 3, it inspired me to go back to Act 3. I don't want to inspire anybody. I'm not an inspiration, I'm a cautionary tale. Do not go into Act 3. There's nothing for you here. I hear there's really good platforming though, so I do plan to go over. That's where I'm going to go next, into the hellscape.
It could just be just this, just this boss is giving you the most trouble. The other ones.
And apparently you don't have to do it to finish Act 3, is what I heard on the streets.
That I didn't know. Yeah,
so
I that's news to me. So hey, I might go back in. And even for where I was, I wasn't like beating my head against a boss crazy but I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put it down. It was like one of those things where it's like, all right, I failed enough times that I know I need to just walk away for a bit and come back with fresh hands, fresh eyes, fresh brain, and I just hadn't came back. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those situations. So I don't know, if you get there, I'm definitely hopping back in. I know that
the last bit got really sloppy too, where it's like I died 12 times, but I will say, like, I did change crests a few of those times just to see if it's like, maybe this will unlock something, and it really didn't. I do feel like there's some hope in the Architect crest. I just like hate that with the crests, and I understand that they like probably do it for like balancing reasons, but I want to pick my jump, my down slash. If you give me the down slash that I have with the Reaper crest, I could use more crests, but you don't.
Yeah.
And that's because you know that
weird.
The Reaper crest is the one true crest.
Is it basically a side down for all the other crests?
No,
like,
not all of them.
The only
Definitely
one that
not.
is like purely down?
No. There's some stuff that's kind of down. I forget which one. Or like kind of like they're not exactly down, but they're like a rolling. I guess it is still down probably, but it's kind of, you do like a spiral animation, like, that jump that Samus does, like the Z jump. It's like you kind of have a Z jump looking animation. Like a rolling, like like I think it's still down, but I feel like it's got a different kind of feel to it than the down slash is just so like basic and obvious. It's like you've probably done this in a bunch of games before kind of situation. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll still be playing, which it's funny because like at the end of last night, I'm like, well, you know what? Cleared up my weekend. I've done my job. I'm going to just show up on Wednesday and say, y'all tell me about Act 3 because I'll share what I can share and then I'll let you take it from there kind of vibe. But I'm like, okay, I guess there's more stuff I can look at, so I'll keep playing the game. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to say. I don't want to say I don't want to. That's a little dramatic, but it's like I just wish things were different. You know what I mean? That's all. Like I just wish things were different. But that's always been a little true with Silksong. As much as I've enjoyed the game a lot, it's like it is kind of a pain in the ass. But it also does like kind of live with you in like a toxic way. Of the like, yeah, but if I could do that, like I could do anything. Wow, it'd be so amazing to accomplish this. So I don't know. I'm a little discouraged, but I will keep venturing around and maybe seeing what else might lie before me. Other things, I have reorganized my gaming system, and now I'll never miss a game again. Which sounds like an ad, like an ad segue to some weird ad, like with these like supplements. Yeah, have I told you about this? My new system?
No.
Okay.
I think I heard you talk about it a little bit on stream, but I have not been formally introduced to this new system, this new J gaming system. Welcome
in. There's many goals. Goal number 1: make your currently playing list as small as possible. Okay. Mine isn't that small, if I'm being honest. It's at like 7, but I'm lying a little bit because I'm not really playing Power Wash Simulator or Tiny Lands. So I also do need to you kind of want to try to exercise honesty, and I don't like being honest with my games, so that's why I'm lying. Honestly, the only games I'm playing right now at this very instance are Silksong and Slay the Spire 2. I'm supposed to be playing Animal Crossing, but I really am not. So that's that. So we try to keep that list small, as small and honest as it can be. Then I have some lists. I have 2. Do I have 2 lists? I think I have 3 lists because I have like a streaming list too, but that's pretty casual. It's like got the 2 games in there. I have my games I want to play outside of work and my 2026 roadmap. This is going to be the key to not fucking up with games.
Okay.
So my want to play outside of work are games that are not calendar relevant. Games like Ghost of Tsushima at this point, or Yotai at this point.
Okay.
Games like Dredge.
I see what you're saying.
Games like Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I'm only adding games to this as I naturally think of them. So obviously, what games do I want to play outside of work? Probably like hundreds. But I'm just focusing on like what's like, oh yeah, I want to get to that. Seems fun. So it's like there's 20 games on there right now, and they're in order of like most desired to play. For the most part, I reorder them here and there as my so like the number 1 is The Devil in Me, which I'm playing with Edwin.
I'm looking at this list. I'm a little surprised by the order for some. I'm surprised some things made it as high up as it is, and I'm surprised some things are as low as they are.
Can you give me an example of each?
I am surprised that Dredge is number 3.
Yeah, I mean that could shift, but
I know you're interested.
I do want to go
but
play it again. I started it, never finished it.
Same for a Ranger. That's number 5. I thought you were gonna be done and over with a Ranger. You know what I mean?
No, I forgot if I told you. It came to iOS properly outside of Netflix gaming. And you know I'm in my iPad era, and I'm like something about a Ranger. I'm like a Ranger seems like a really cool game. Like, and I previewed it and I liked it. I'm like this seems great, but I just like didn't really care about it when it came out in a way. I'm like I don't know, but I'm like yeah, but what if I was sliding? Because it's all about sliding tiles. And I'm like, what if I was physically sliding those tiles? I'm like, that would probably
feel better.
That sounds nice. That's why it's up there.
And then we got like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart at the end of the list. I'm surprised I even made the list, even in the top 20. I'm surprised you were not just done and over with Ratchet and Clank.
People say it's good and it looks good, and I'm like, yeah, I do want to. Like, we talked about it today. I forgot why. Edwin brought it up for some reason. I said, you know what? Yeah, I want to play that. So I said, guess I got a list for that. Put it on the list. And that's how I made it on there.
That's funny. So yeah, so that's cool. caught me by surprise. Not bad, not good, just interesting. I was like, oh,
So
all right.
it's just vibes based as the vibes shift. And then I have 2026 roadmap. These are games I need to get to. I have a genuine interest in them, but I also am on some sort of deadline, aka end of year content, if nothing else. And I'm ordering them on how when it's kind of like queue. It's like the queue, which is something I want backlog to add. I should tell the backlogged person because I'm on the page track. If I go in the Discord and say, hey, like feature, but I'm just too lazy to do that, so I haven't asked them. But I feel like a queue is missing from backlog, so this is my own queue that I made. And yeah, we got Titanium Court #1, which I think that's kind of accurate. It's like hot in the streets. It just came out, and a lot of people are talking about it. Idols of Ash is like kind of a freako pick that isn't that important, so that might drop. But it's like a couple dollars on Steam. Patrick liked it. It sounds cool. It sounds like it's basically like the vibe I get from it is it's 3D downwell, but like a big centipede is chasing you.
Oh, okay.
That seems fun.
All
like,
right.
okay, yeah. And then just other, games that came out this year that I haven't gotten to. Lost and Found Co. Tomb of the Bloodletter I have played a little bit, but I want to play a bit more. Procopia is on there, of course. Procopia, though, is probably going to like live in a playing for like months kind of thing, but I need to get Procopia more into the rotation. So once a game is on my playing list, it is removed from the roadmap because I'm playing it. So
okay, whether you
like,
finish it or not, it's off because you tried it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could put it back on if I want. Like that's kind of what I do with Two of the Bloodletter because I'm like, actually, I need to go back and spend more time with this. But it's like no longer something I need to get to. I'm in it. Now I guess if I dropped it again, then it would probably just be shelved or like whatever. Like if I don't need to beat Two of the Bloodletter to decide I'm done playing it. But I'm like, I did want to play more, so I put it back in. Cause that one's like an exception more. Procopia is kind of like that though too. I technically did start it, but I'm like, I'm not really playing it. I want to remember though. I don't want to just unshelved. I want to remember that like I need to get to this. And it's like high priority. And I know that I won't get to all these games. Like even if this was my only job, you're like, hey, you have to finish all these before the end of the year or like play them. I mean, I guess I technically could if I really, really like forced it, but there's 21 games on this list currently. But some of them I don't really care if I ever get to them. Like Minos or whatever seems cool, but like I don't really need to get to that. But it's like, but I kind of was thinking about it. So it's not like maybe I hit a stride and I knock a lot of these out. And time's kind of cleared up and I like can, get in there with it or whatever. But we'll see. But it's very exciting to get to pull games from my roadmap into my playing. I forgot what example I have for a game Cairn. I had Cairn on there. And I'm like, let me finally like do this. It also is nice because I can keep looking at these games. And every time I look at them, I feel a little bit more sick of seeing them positively. Where it's like, it's kind of like the to-do list, right? I'm tired of writing this every week. Let's just play the game and fix it. It also helps me for like, even though I technically have a streaming list that's separate, that's just kind of like games my community either wants me to play or games I agreed to stream. So it's like GTA 5 and Kingdom Hearts 2 are on there or whatever. But I stream every Monday, at least I'm trying to. A lot of times I'm playing new games. It's like, I kind of look at this roadmap and say, oh, maybe I'll play one of those games. And that way I don't have to keep thinking like, what am I playing? Like what's going on? What do I need to get to? I know what I'm playing. I know what I need to get to. It's all laid out. And it's fun because I can keep going back to my favorite step of doing anything, which is thinking about doing anything.
The planning part of it.
Yes. Yeah. Making a little list.
That's fair. Okay. I like it.
Would you adopt a system like this? Or what do you think of this system as well? It's a safe place to say, like I don't think this is going to fix you. Because it's probably not.
No. I do like it. To say I would adopt it is a little strong just because I've leaned into the just proper played backlog wish list that like Backlogged has as a just like native feature wise. But to your credit, I have a lot of games in my playing. I could afford to really be honest with myself and say, am I playing this or did I start it and then never went back to it? Do I want to put it back on do I want to put it back on the backlog? Do I want to just say that it's abandoned? Like I find myself in that situation with a lot of games. So I do want to, I do need to fix that. Same for wishlist and backlog itself. Like I try to separate it to where it's like, if I own the game and I haven't played it yet and I want to, it's in the backlog. If I don't own the game but I want to eventually try it or keep an eye out that I can like buy it or do whatever, then I put it in wish list. And I have to kind of prioritize the backlog before I can get to the wish list. just to make sure I'm not constantly buying games that I'm not playing. But I mean, you might be onto something. You might be onto something
because there's so many games. Like if I look at my back, and granted, this is just from when I started using Backlogged, which was only like a year or two ago. Like I have like 2 pages of backlogged games. I have 76 backlog games. I have 59 wishlist games. I have 256 games I've played. It's like that's like so much to keep track of. Like I don't know what's going on in here. I don't know what I want to even do. So it's like this kind of makes that and puts it in a more workable state to me. But I will be reporting back. I know we want to do a check-in in June. We'll be checking in on how our goals are going, how our like lock-in and leave-its. If you caught, I think the first episode of the year was like lock-in and leave-it. And also how the gaming stuff's going, because we had plans for games, we had plans for media. Like we'll probably have like kind of a whole big check-in month. I think we'll probably have enough content to cover that. So something to look forward to. So that means it's April right now. I have 1 month to clean this shit up and make it look good for when I report back to everyone. And then be like, wow, like she did so much. Really, I just crunched the fuck out of May. That's my plan.
Yeah.
I don't know your plan, but I'll meet you over there when the time comes.
Hell yeah, I'm with it.
And now for the not game section of the show, we are talking about Demon Slayer and what Isaiah thinks my next anime should be based on my reaction to Demon Slayer. We'll start off very general and then do a big spoiler gates announcement so that people can jump ahead to pull the show if they don't want spoilers for Demon Slayer, including the movies, multiple movies. All right, let's get started. I tried it. Let's rate it 1 through 10. I really like Demon Slayer. I thought it was really cool. It's a little tough watching something like Demon Slayer where like pretty much the instant you start watching Demon Slayer, you somehow get exposed to the Demon Slayer overrated basic pick like side of the internet a little bit, which didn't really have an impact on my enjoyment or understanding of the show, but it is just kind of a weird thing. But yeah, I feel like, funnily enough, I kind of want to start off with like your perception of me watching it to one, kind of jog my memory, but two, I feel like because the experience of me watching anime is so traumatic for you, because it's all these shows that you like, and you know me, and you know the show, and you're kind of like, it's like you're trying to have 2 friends hang out with each other, and you're like, I hope they're friends.
Yeah.
What was your perception of that? When did I like finally like get into it by your own perception, and then I'll kind of comment on my perspective as the primary source.
So I would say holistically, I knew you were in after the Mugen train. Like that's when I knew, like, okay, we got her, folks. Like we're safe, we're good.
Yeah.
She's in it to win it. She'll follow through. She's watched some of it on her own now. Like she was making an effort. Like she's in there. She's in there like swimwear. And I knew it wasn't gonna be like a Frieren kind of thing. Like I knew you didn't like love it in its entirety like that, but I did know that you were hooked at least, and enough to see it through. Yeah, so watching you kind of go from, because like you said, we had some ups and downs with some of the other ones. You know, we tried Slime. I still think we can come back to Slime someday, and
they
give
just
it a
shouldn't
fair
have
shot.
led with the Goblin Titty City. They did that to themselves. I didn't make that the first main thing. They did that.
There's a lot. Sure. I'm not gonna get into it. We'll save that for when we do watch it.
The optics on it didn't look great. And you can tell me in the comments about, in that society, the goblins got big titties. I don't know. You can say what you want. It was looking a little. It was given I had to change the channel when my mom walked in the room. You know, it just kind of had a little. It was a little much.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And you pulled Slime for me. I would have kept watching.
I pulled Slime. Yes, I pulled it. Of course.
I was dragging it a bit
because what did I bring after Slime? Solo leveling, and solo leveling you popped for way more initially, just from the action, just from the combat, just from the craziness of it.
Which I feel like we never really talked about solo leveling either. In a way.
No, I guess not.
That one I don't like as much as Demon Slayer. Spoilers for my thoughts on solo leveling.
And that's why we probably didn't talk about it, is because it's like, I think you had a good time with it, but I don't think you liked it. I don't think you'd be going
Some
to see a
parts
solo
are-
leveling movie, you know?
Some parts are really, really good, and so it's funny because like we're not here to talk about solo leveling, but some parts are really, but it'll also help build my sort of background in anime that can help guide Isaiah to the next spot. Some parts in solo leveling were really cool because it is mostly, from my perspective and probably also yours, a show about like watching people beat ass. Like it's just like a fighting show. There is a story, and the story isn't like uninteresting by any means. Like there's interpersonal conflict and things like that, but it's not. I feel like I'm there to like the first episode. It's some people fighting some giant ants, and I was like, "That's awesome." And the giant ants, some of their heads get ripped off. So they rip some heads off, and I said, "That's great. I love that. I love seeing that." That's kind of what the show has to offer. Like if you're someone who gets excited to see a giant ant and then you fight a giant ant, then you'll probably at least enjoy it a little bit. But if you're like, I don't know, I kind of need, sorry, stop, because you're probably not going to get it here. But if you want to see them whoop ass, it is a beat ass kind of show, and the fights are pretty fun, and they figure out ways to make it a little interesting. It is kind of runs into the problem of like, well, he's getting really powerful. What exactly is going to be the challenge here?
Yeah,
and they do an okay job figuring it out, but it is a kind of one of those shows as well.
I got that sense from you. I got the sense that you didn't hate it, but you didn't love it. And so going into Demon Slayer, I was like, all right, I need something with a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more flash, a little bit more, but not all flash. Like it's got to have some substance too. You know what I mean? Try it solo leveling, or not try solo leveling. Try Demon Slayer. I think the first episode you were interested in, you saw the sister come in. She was kind of transforming, and she protected the brother, and then this other guy was trying to fight him, and you were like, okay, cool. I'm kind of getting it. I'm picking it up. I'm liking it. And I was like, all right, we got a shot here. We can keep going. We kept going. We got to the training. He was trying to slice the rock. You were like, oh my god. That was honestly, it might have been there, because when he was trying to slice the rock, and the guy was the old man was looking after the sister, you kept asking like, oh man, I just know something's gonna happen. I just know that the sister's gonna wake up and turn, or I hope this old man doesn't die.
The old man, like, and this is early enough that I feel like it doesn't count as a spoiler section, but like the old man was giving like I'm gonna die energy, because he was really sweet. And I mean, he wasn't all sweet. Like he was kind of that classic like tough love, but also like, come here, son. Here's a cupcake for your troubles. Like. He was very sweet, and he hugged Tanjiro, and he has a little mask that he wears. It was very cute. So I'm like, I feel like they're going to kill this old man. So that was how I was feeling there. And I like the mystical element of that episode too. It kind of had some like, oh, what's going on? Is he like seeing stuff, or is someone actually there? Like, what does this mean? Like, it had some fun like mystical elements, which I thought elevated the show as well. So I think with Demon Slayer, my thing that sort of felt a little grating, and it never really got better, but there was like kind of less by way of how they wrote the story, is I really didn't like, the characters are very, very tropey, which a lot of anime characters are quite tropey. Even when they're like better written, it's like, well, obviously this is like strong sign type, or like the strong guy, but he's kind of awkward, like whatever. They have, Zenitsu, and he's like one of my least favorite archetypes. He's whiny, he's annoying, he's kind of whack, and I wouldn't say he's like pervy, that's a little extreme, but if anyone's gonna be pervy, it's gonna be Zenitsu, because he's just like so awkward and obsessed with like women. It's like he has that, he's a Brock, like kind of character, and I never really liked that kind of character, and he's just like a whiny baby, and I'm like, is he gonna get better? And you're like, no, but sometimes you see less of him. And I'm like, I could live with that. So I sort of tolerated Zenitsu. What's the name of the other guy? I'm blanking. The boar guy. What's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? This is the problem when I never use anyone's real name. I'm surprised I pulled Zenitsu out of my ass, but whatever. As you grab that, he is also a bit much, he's like not the same archetype, but he's in that I'm really strong and I'm hard-headed, literally, and like even though Tanjiro also has a hard head, it's like, oh, I'm hard-headed and I'm aggressive and I'm like really excited and I'm over the top and I'm competitive. It's like, all right, man, dial it back. Like both of those characters have very it's 7:30 in the morning energy, where it's like, oh, it's 7:30 in the morning, like get out of my face. Tanjiro somehow like gets around not being an annoying version of his archetype, in my opinion, because Tanjiro is also archetypal. He is like good guy anime character with I'm not gonna lie, a pretty hardy dash of plot armor. I feel like, you know, he starts off kind of weaker and then it gets strong over time, like a lot of characters have that arc. But it's just kind of like if he wasn't the main character, a lot of these people would have been dead kind of feeling type of anime.
100%. Yeah.
But he, I think, has more substance than like a Goku, which is like whenever I think good guy anime character, I think of Goku. Like he doesn't, he's not like that flat, and I think that makes him fun. But and I feel like obviously he's not real, he's like written, but I feel like his goodness and his wholesomeness feels very genuine. Like I feel like he knows when to beat ass and when to extend a hand, and like, he's not gonna like not beat ass just to be a good guy, but he's also like really trying to see the good in people, and he's really understanding. I also really enjoy one of the things that's kind of fun about the show is it's called Demon Slayer. Obviously they're slaying demons, but in this world, demons are just like people who've turned, you know, kind of like zombie like kind of that scenario, and that's it. You know, they can't. That's it. They turn. They're demons now. His whole arc is that like in the first episode, his sister becomes a demon, and he's trying to see if he can like cure her or save her or whatever. And it's like it doesn't exist. He's like, I'm gonna go walk the world and find it. Like that's the point of his journey, at least at the beginning. You know, other things come up. But what's cool is that whenever I think pretty much every time, there's probably some exceptions, but when they fight a demon, you also learn about like what was this person's life before they became a demon.
Yeah.
And that layer is like pretty interesting as well. It's also really cool that like all the demons have their own shtick to them, like kind of referred to as their blood demon art. So it's like what's their special like move set, and you know, it's like, oh, this person can sense the wind or something. I just made that up. That's not a real one, but it's like, oh, this person can. These are fake ones, just for sake of spoilers. It's like, oh, this person like can handle extreme temperatures, and they also have like moves that like can freeze you or burn you. Like it's like stuff like that, where it's like okay, but it's orchestrated more interestingly than that, because they sort of set up conveniently, right? It's like this is something we haven't seen before, and like how are we going to problem solve around this? If we can't like attack in the way we're used to attacking, you know, like how do we get creative with it? So that's cool. And there are, like I kind of alluded to before, it's not a wildly mystical show, but there is some like kind of funky stuff that happens. Like it's not quite magic, but it's like interesting things occur in the world, sort of like almost like there's like a spiritual element to things to a degree. There's like this like idea of the past and like history and like lineage and how like that might change perception, and like there's just like kind of more to it than just like we are in a world fighting, but it's not like again full on magic by any means. Like if you're looking for a magic world, I wouldn't say the world of Demon Slayer would fit, but it's got some fun surprises in it. And I think one thing that was both a pro and a con for me watching this is it is a show of arcs, which I was not used to, really. I mean, I guess I should be used to, because I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and that had like arcs, like the Frieza saga. But I feel like that was different, because it felt more like this season we're fighting Frieza, this season we're fighting Cell. I mean, maybe it wasn't like that cut and dry, but that's kind of how I remember it. While here it's like, it's not as big as a season, but it's like, you know, it's like we're fighting this demon named Dave. Again, fake examples. It's like, okay, Dave's here. We're fighting him. Okay, we fought him for like half the episode. Like the next episode, still fighting Dave. And I was like, damn, Dave got hands.
Yeah.
Episode 3, damn, we still fighting Dave.
Still
like
fighting
Dave does not want to go down. But unlike Dragon Ball Z, again, one of my only comparison points, there's stuff happening all the time. So it doesn't feel like they're dragging it out, but it is quite long. And you do feel that length sometimes where you're like, I don't know. I think they could maybe benefit from those being a little bit shorter. A lot of the stuff I do like, But it is that moment of like, this is fun. When's it over? Because I'm kind of like ready to like go forward a little bit. So that was something to sort of just like get used to. Again, it can be a pro and a con depending on how you're looking at it, but it is a little, once you kind of know that that's the formula, it does become like, I guess we're gonna be in this town for 5 episodes, kind of situation. But yeah, I think what I liked the most about it, what made me lock in on Mugen Train, which is really just another arc, but they kind of made it like as a movie, like you can watch the movie kind of cut of it. It's just the episode smooshed together, really. Is it? I mean, it had a lot of what the other parts of the show have, which is like fun demon encounter, interesting shtick. But I guess to that point, it did have a lot of those like things I'm talking about that were appealing to me, like a layer of mystical surprise in it. And it had just like really good fighting. Like I like the fighting in this show a lot. Because they add like an elemental animation to it. Like it's not really like they're using the elements. It's just kind of like a way to visualize like their breathing technique, which is like what kind of differentiates all the different people, where it's like, oh, I do this kind of breathing, and sometimes you might fuse things together and like all of this. There's also a lot of things in this show that I think are different and kind of fun. Like this is a very like light spoiler for the show, but they have and then we'll pick my next anime, we'll get your thoughts also, and then we'll go into full spoilers. But they have like this group called the Hashira, which are just like really dope demon slayers. It's like S rank demon slayers almost, and it's cool. Like you see like a good amount of them, and that's fun because it's like, oh, other characters, and they all have like, I kind of wish they did more with them in a way, but it just kind of gives you something else to like look at and deal with and experience. And it's especially helpful to someone like me who's like, to be honest, this core crew, it's like I like Tanjiro and I'm kind of tolerating everybody else. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like,
okay.
And it's funny because at a certain point in the show, it's like, oh, they're gonna do their own thing, and I'm like, shit, take your time coming back, because I don't really need you to don't rush. I want to miss you a little bit. So that's fun, and it also gives you a way to like to get a context of like the main cast's power or lack thereof, because you see like how good the Hashira are, and then you notice, damn, Tanjiro kind of whacked. I think about it. He's not necessarily whack. He's a developing demon slayer, but it's like, damn, it's like you see some of stuff Tanjiro does, and some of it is sweet, but then you see the Hashira, and then you're like, where's that? Let me watch the Hashira show, because that's where it's really at. So yeah, I did overall enjoy my time with Demon Slayer a lot. I think they did a good job keeping things fresh, having some fun character dynamics, having really like beautiful and cool fighting, and something you make fun of me for a lot. Man. I think the water in this show looks really nice. You're obsessed with water. They make it look so nice. Like, and by water I mean like a pond, not like the water thing when he's fighting, but just like if they show like a river in this show, that is cool. But look at the water in this show and tell me that shit isn't gluggable.
You in this weird obsession with bodies of water and how good they look. No, you're mostly totally made of water. It's true. It was 70%. Yeah, no, like it is one of those shows that, like a Frieren, you could just almost take any random still from it and like print it on a poster and hang it on a wall, and it'll look gorgeous. It'll look beautiful. It'll have vibrant colors, incredible lines, great like kind of like framing and all this other stuff. So like, yeah, no, you're totally right there. I'm totally with you. Glad to hear that you were excited by it, and interested in it. And I know we're not going to get into spoilers, but I think it's fair to say that you liked it. You liked what you've seen. Yeah.
It's like, obviously it has very little competition because like I'm very early into anime, but it's my second behind Frieren. Solo Leveling, I'm kind of putting to the side. It's like, I kind of liked it, but like I almost didn't like that I liked it in a way. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, will I watch season 3? Maybe. Am I excited for season 3? To be honest, no. I'm not excited for season 3.
Okay. That's fair. All right, getting into the what's gonna be next for you portion, I guess. Like I'm trying to think through. I'm trying to take what you're giving me, and determine where to go from here. So I think that How'd you like
We
the
did
length
dip into
of,
Spy Family for like one episode, 2 episodes.
we
on
did
a whim on the projector.
You didn't seem.
I kind of went rogue and I went on my own and I put Spy Family on because I wanted something like chill.
Yeah,
That's something
you
Demon
didn't
Slayer
seem
like
too
would
excited
stress me
about
out
it.
sometimes, if I'm being honest.
Mm.
Frieren never really stresses me out. Maybe that'll change in season 2. I haven't watched that yet. Demon Slayer would be like, I think also because Demon Slayer, and I actually do like gore quite a bit, but Demon Slayer, it can be quite gory. It's actually kind of funny thinking of and we'll get into this more later. Sorry to cut you off on the what's next thing, but I think it's the gore thing is a good thing to mention. People who forget that I like gore in anime because I think it's like depicted really like intriguingly, and that's what I like about it. But Demon Slayer can be really gory and really violent. It obviously is like still like cartoon style, but it is like a lot, and it's funny because we're very lucky in that. What do they call? What's the movie we watched? Not Mugen Train, the one that we watched for the
Infinity Castle.
Infinity Castle. Sorry, not because I plugged this earlier. It got a re-release in theaters, like limited re-release. I'm like, perfect timing. I was like just about to watch it. Now I can, and I was thinking, man, I would love to watch this in the theater when I watched Mugen Train. I was like, I wish I was in the theaters. It would have been so fun. And then we got to watch it. And that was great. Like I enjoyed that movie a lot. Again, we're getting spoilers later. But as I'm watching, obviously it's an anime. Looks like a cartoon. A lot of kids watch it. I watched anime as a child, but I'm like, man, I'm dead thinking of the parents that are watching this with their kids who never really watch Demon Slayer. They just kind of see it on the TV and they see that like their kid likes Tanjiro and they wear the little like Tanjiro like robe thing, you know, and then are watching this like, holy fuck, like because it's like, again, it's not like that crazy. It's not like Saw or something, but there's like really gnarly stuff. Like there's stuff where I'm like, that's disgusting, you know, stuff where it's like, oh, someone's insides get turned outside or something. And it's like, oh, geez. So it was kind of a high stress show. And that's why I ended up putting Spy Family on. Because I was like, I really liked watching Demon Slayer a lot. But it'd be like watching Demon Slayer and then going to bed. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of a lot for me.
It can be a bit much, yeah.
You know, it's also kind of a page turner anime, which is a compliment to the show. But it also is like, what's something I can feel like I can put down easily. Easy viewing. And I thought Spy Family might fit the bill. And I enjoyed it fine. I wasn't like won over in the first 2 episodes. Was the girl Anya? Was it the name of the little girl? She's cute. You told me you think you were like, I think she's cute.
I think you'd love Anya.
And she was cute. And it's kind of like a fun little story, but I don't know that I'm like, you know, again, but also we know I don't buy in immediately anyway, so I don't think that's like a negative, but that is what happened. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you, but continue with as you're going to your mind palace, what anime do you have for me next, Isaiah?
Yeah, so I'm torn. I do still think the Spy Family is on the table. I think it could be nice to give you, because again, you've had, you know, Frieren, which is like a very slow kind of anime. There's an overarching story that's like developing and happening, and characters that you learned about, and you know, it's things happening, but it's not incredibly action packed. At least not like holistically through the whole thing. Then you had like Solo Leveling, and it's like that's nothing but action. That was the opposite, almost the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like we don't really care about the story too much. Like there's just enough to give you a justification for him getting stronger, and then boom, he's stronger, and now you're fighting more people. You know, Demon Slayer I felt like was somewhere in the middle, definitely closer to a Solo Leveling than a Frieren, and you really did like that. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm trying to find something that is a little bit more almost the opposite to Demon Slayer, where it's closer to a Frieren than a Solo Leveling, but it still has some like action that pops off like here and then, like fairly consistently, you know what I mean? Maybe not like a every episode kind of thing or anything like that. So that brings me to Spy Family. Spy Family I think is very much like a sitcom anime, not in that it is like a sitcom, like I don't think you would, you know, it's not like Friends or anything like that, but it does follow that formula more than the other anime, where like every episode is its own contained kind of story. Every so often you maybe get like a 2-parter kind of thing, same way you would in like a Friends or Scrubs or anything like that, right? But like holistically it's like, okay, cool, once you like are introduced to the characters, each episode is just like a situation involving these characters. And I think that your love of sitcoms could make that work really well. I worry that but you really did like Freeman. I'd be worried about a little bit about you getting bored of that formula though. But again, you like Freeman, you like sitcoms. This is just like a sitcom anime, so it seems like it would be a perfect blend. My big thing would be, can I get you to watch it, commit to it, do whatever enough to like get over whatever hump might be in the beginning, which I think at this point you're kind of starting to understand the hump. Like in general, like you kind of just got to give a couple episodes. Yeah. So that's an option. I know another option that the folks have written in and given us as recommendations is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Specifically Brotherhood, not just the old Full Metal Alchemist, just because Brotherhood I think it's a little bit faster. It's not incredibly long. I get a little intimidated
by the amount of seasons.
No. Full Metal Brotherhood is like it's contained, it's done. If I had to guess, I don't know off the top of my head, but if I had to guess, it's somewhere between somewhere around 50 episodes maybe.
That's not much.
It's not. No, it's not. It's like and those episodes kind of do go by pretty quickly. Like you very much. It's a story that moves along, but it is a story that moves along. So you get that part of Frieren. But then there's also some combat and action, which you like those parts of Frieren where the episodes where she beat ass, right? It's like okay, we get a little beat ass in this episode. All right, she's showing her, she's flaunting it a little bit. They're doing stuff. You do very much get that with Brotherhood. So there's also that, and then we have a couple wild card contenders, right? We have Hunter x Hunter, which I think is too long for you right now. That is
I've heard of that
bit more meaty. It's really good though. It like if you want a good story in the way that Frieren kind of follows that core group and you just see them over time and how they grow and everything like that. You kind of get that in Hunter x Hunter with Gon and Killua, who great duo, very much like a Goku Vegeta, but if they were kids and friends kind of thing. You get great arcs. The Chimera Ant arc is incredible. Still one of my probably favorite arcs ever. It's got an incredible crash out moment, what I think is probably the best crash out moment in media. And it's just a good story. But I think it might be too much for you right now.
Probably.
Then that brings me to another just pure lighthearted, fun, happy-go-lucky, but not irrelevant to the story kind of anime, which is Ranking of Kings. This is a fairly new one. It's not super popular. I know some people have watched it, and maybe our listeners know of it and everything like that. But I wouldn't say it's a super popular anime. You might find it on some niche lists here and there, but it's not it's not like a classic or anything like that. It's pretty short. I think season 2 is maybe either in the works or just dropped or came out recently, within the last year or so. I've only seen the first season, and I thought that it was fun. It was great. We watched it for Anime Club. It's an easy to digest kind of show, which I think if we want something that's just a little bit quick and easy to get through, it depends on how you're feeling, right? If you want something that's a lighter snack, if you want a Lunchables of anime, we might do Ranking of Kings. If you want something a little bit more meaty, if you want a stew, we might do Brotherhood. If you want just some snacks, some popcorn, some Welch's fruit snacks, some something you could just nibble on.
You're naming all my favorite snacks.
Yeah, you're gonna be good with it. Then some a tamales kind of, just something quick and easy. Then maybe we go. What was the Spy Family? Yeah, where it's fun time, easy to come, easy to go, nothing crazy. So it really comes down to what you're feeling and how you think you want to move next. I have some options, but I need to know what you're looking for.
I probably would go Spy Family, I think. I also wouldn't. I'm a little curious about a lot of people, and by a lot I mean probably realistically 2 or 3, and in my mind that's everybody. I've been curious about this Apothecary Diaries that people have been saying, because I do think it'd be fun to try an anime that neither of us have seen. That's unexplored territory. And I know you're reading the manga, so maybe you want to finish your manga first, but I am curious to try Delicious in Dungeon again. I started that, though I think that's on Netflix, so we'd have to see what we're doing with that, because though also really anything is everywhere if you look hard enough.
That is true. Anything is everywhere.
Maybe to make something happen, Yeah, what's up?
I keep forgetting about. Yeah, I don't think you're ready for it. Yeah, I think if you didn't hate solo leveling, so I don't think it's like so far off from it. But Jujutsu Kaisen is one that I think could be another.
Yeah,
like,
the one
when
with
you're
the
ready
Hawkeye.
for just fighting and like some boom boom pows. But let me know because we'll bring JJK back into the mix.
Okay, I might be. Because the other thing with solo leveling is it is really annoying. The game stuff is annoying. I'm leveling up like a video game. I'm video gaming on my video game. It's like, all right, man. And so maybe that's because I work in games. It's like that stuff kind of like I'm not a fan. Yeah, I like tolerate that stuff. And the reason season 2 is better than season 1 is season 2 they're like done constantly like explaining video games to me, and I'm like, okay, now we can like live a little bit. But yeah, maybe Spy Family then I think is maybe what we've landed on, because I like the Mollis and you compared it to that, so that seems good. Though my next anime thing is going to be, I have to check if all the English dubs are out for and I think they are season 2. I haven't googled into that yet, but because I was gonna have us watch it just in Japanese. Yeah, you can look it up while I talk about it. I was gonna have us just watch it in Japanese to like avoid spoilers, but I'm like, the spoilers actually didn't even get that bad. I saw like 1 or 2 like light things, and then we also just kind of casually missed a few weeks, and I said, I think if I wait, I can just kind of like get them all at once. So
yeah, it looks like
yeah.
I think we're at the hiatus point. So the first 10 episodes have dropped, and they're all in dub and sub right now. So
nice. Okay,
we can knock that out.
Man, I know they're gonna put that 10 where like, the 10th's gonna be like, I want to see the 11th, and I'm not gonna get to.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I'm down to do that. So we honestly could knock that out in like one day. So I'm not really too worried about that. I was planning to wake up and just do that for the day. That day's gonna be so good. It could be tomorrow if I wanted it to be. I don't think we're doing. Well, I gotta play Silksong. Fuck. Anyway.
Yeah.
I want to watch Prayer Rain. I don't want to play Silksong. Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
So light answer to next anime, Spy Family.
Spy Family. If you now, this is a real zag here, but I think if you like if you like the formula of Spy Family, like after a couple episodes, you kind of get a gist for what it is and you enjoy that. I think we bring in Case Closed or Detective Conan, depending on how you watched it or where you watched it or whatever. It's like Glass Onion or like a Knives Out Spy Family.
Inspector Anime.
So your murder mystery solving every episode. Think like that house formula that like something happens, you come in, you solve the case in a cute way, and it's packaged up really nice and blah blah blah, and it looks cool and fun, and you can play along with it, kind of thing. Yeah, that's a fantastic anime. Definitely recommend that to folks who are interested in like murder mystery kind of things. So yeah, so maybe we drop those into like some of our lunches or something, But yeah, so I think we're gonna do Spy Family. It's decided. We feel good. We're gonna go.
All right, and now is your spoiler warning for Demon Slayer, all of Demon Slayer, the
through Infinity
2 movies.
Castle. Yeah.
Yes. All right, this is your time to jump to pull the show if you don't want to hear the spoilers, or stay here if you either already saw it or you're like, I don't care, I'm never going to see it, or I just might still see it, but I don't care about spoilers for some reason, which I can't relate to, but I respect it because it means you're listening to the show, and yay!
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have you here. Okay, here are the spoilers.
Man.
So the old man doesn't die, which is surprising to me.
The old man doesn't die, no.
But there's still time for... Let's start from the end. We watched Infinity Castle, and we did not know there were any more movies coming out.
We had no idea that there was going to be more stuff coming out. I thought Infinity Castle was wrapping it up. I was under the impression that after the Hashira training arc, they get zooped into the Infinity Castle, and then boom, we're going to see him fight Michael Jackson. Like, we're going to be good. Like, everything's going to come out.
I'm not going to pretend like I knew that there were more movies, because I didn't, and I was surprised that there were more. There was more to come. But I was suspicious. I think I even told you before we started the movie, I don't know how they're going to wrap it, because I saw the runtime, and the runtime was like a bit over 2 hours. They usually are like kind of chonky, but I'm like, even with it being over 2 hours, I don't see how they're gonna get this all done, because they had barely gotten into the Infinity Castle. Like, they hadn't even really started to like. I mean, first of all, there's all of Michael Jackson's henchmen, which Michael Jackson is what we call what's his actual name?
Muzan Kabutsuji.
Muzan Kabutsuji, which we also ironically it's go Muzan Kabutsuji. So that's also been fun, but mostly that's Michael Jackson. They even made his name start with an M. If you're wondering why we call him Michael Jackson, Google Muzan Kabutsuji.
Yeah.
And tell me that shit is not Michael Jackson. That's literally the Muzan Kabutsuji biopic just dropped. That's they gave him. He's in an all white suit with like a rimmed hat, like, and his hair looks like Michael Jackson. His skin is pale. That man's Michael Jackson.
Yep.
All I'm 100%. Waiting for is for him to reveal that his demon blood art is actually him moonwalking.
Like dancing.
Blood demon art, I mean. Anyway, so, but I was like, that seems like a lot. And like, Muzan Kabutsuji, the big bad, has henchmen. Like his, what do they call them again?
The upper ranks and lower ranks.
The upper ranks. So he has like his version of the Hashira, basically, kind of.
Yeah.
And I didn't think, we're guaranteed to fight all of them. But they're like, the whole job is to like protect his block and shit. So I figured we're probably going to run into some of them. Not to mention, the Infinity Castle is a castle full of demons. Like a fuck ton of different demons. Like top demons, the fucking D student demons, the dropout demons. Like all the demons are basically in there. So I'm like, well, and it's called the Infinity Castle. That shit's big as fuck. So I'm like, I don't know how they're going to do this. And sure enough, they didn't. And I'm like, well, that's how you do it. You decide that there's not just one movie coming up, 2 movies coming up.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not even excited for the second movie anymore, knowing that there's a third one after that. It's like if they told you that there was going to be Endgame after Infinity War. It's like, I went into Infinity War thinking that was going to be it. You know what I mean? Like, and you just telling me you stop in here or in Across the Spider-Verse. It's like, bro, that ending hit me out of nowhere. I thought we were going to be wrapping stuff up. Nah, they had other plans. That's crazy. I don't know if I like that. I want to know that something's going to be bigger or longer going into it. I don't know. How do you feel?
It was a little bit like disappointing in that I just thought we were going to finish it together. But I don't mind that there's more, because then I get more Demon Slayer. But like I think it would have. I liked going into it not knowing, because it mostly made the film more engaging. I will say there was a point, and this is the thing I've talked about on the show I think before. Sometimes when I'm watching a movie, whether at home or in theaters, I think, I wonder how much is left. But I don't like seeing the runtime, because I do feel like the runtime is a spoiler, like where you are in the film, because you're start to realize, okay, well, they're not going to wrap this up, or they might do this, or da-da-da-da. So like that's actually one thing I hate about pausing a movie at home, because it's like, oh, now I know there's 15 minutes left. Now I know there's 30 minutes left. It's like, that kind of sucks, but like whatever, it's not that deep. I had to really think to myself, man, I wonder where we are. And I said, I'm not going to look. You looked. I didn't look. I chose not to look. And then, it ended, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. So they really barely got shit done. They barely did anything.
Yeah.
They fought like 2 demons.
Yeah.
Demon and a half, on a good day. Yeah. But what do they make fucking time for? Killing one of the Hashira that I really like, the butterfly girl.
Yeah, who,
mind you, had almost no fucking screen time in the series. Even the dead dude from Mugen Train feel like he got more screen time than she did. I mean, it's not really true, but it feels that way.
They really did her dirty, like,
because they keep remembering him. Tell people your theory for her death.
My theory is that she, so the way she dies, again, we're getting into spoilers, is she's fighting like, I think like number 2, right? Second upper rank or whatever, who's like, he's strong as fuck, and totally stronger than this Hashira, beats her. She's already not like a very like combat focused Hashira. She's more about like applying poisons and science and dissecting and figuring out a way to kill demons without cutting their head off, and like, other ways and stuff like that. So like her whole thing is like poison, right? She poisons demons and that kills them. She dies to this dude, like she loses in a fight to him, and he like absorbs her. But like right before she gets absorbed, her sort of like lieutenant number 2 in command comes in, and she does like this like thing with her arm or with her hand, and we as the audience as well as the demon is like takes that as like her saying, don't come any closer, like run away, like this dude is strong, you can't beat him, go away. And that might be true, but I think she was also doing some like final hurrah poison of herself. So like when she's absorbed into him fully, like she becomes a poison that is like gonna be strong enough to actually kill this demon or something. It's like a nuke of poison. I really hope that's true. You know,
because at least give her something. Because like, now I'm not gonna lie, a funny thing that I didn't tell you until after watching this movie is I had a feeling she would die, because one time I googled her name and the Google suggested death, and I said that doesn't seem good. But I tried to be able to enjoy the show more, you know, without spoilers. But two, it is true that like sometimes it says that, and that doesn't mean the person's dead. It just means that people look up if they like die. So I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't guarantee she's dead, but like that's not a good sign. And then she died, and I was like, damn, I guess that's the death that they were Googling. I just want to see if there was merch for her because I liked her. I thought she was cool. I like Poison a lot in games, so I also like it in other media as well. Yeah. I think it's just fun. So I'm like, oh, she's cool. She's Poison. And she got like a nice butterfly motif to her. I thought she was cool. It would have been nice to know more about her, but
maybe we learn
they
about
hate
her.
women, so I don't know.
You know, they love doing flashbacks.
Mind you, there's other women in the show and they're alive, but you know, I don't know. I feel like they hate. I hated it. It's a hate crime because I hated it. It was cool to see Zenitsu finally lock the fuck in. That's nice.
Yeah, he developed another form of thunder breathing. Or lightning breathing, whatever it was. That was cool. He fought his like brother who succumbed to the demons. He became a demon to be stronger and everything. That was cool. His whole backstory I thought was really cool. Even, you know, again, which the thought of why he needed to lock in, they kind of showed it towards the end of the Hashira training arc. Is he got like some news or something, and then he locked in after getting that news. We don't know what that news is until the movie. It turns out his like grandpa committed like seppuku to kind of in response to his brother, who was also like his mentor along with Zenitsu. Like he was raising both of them to become like joint like Thunder Hashira. And one of them went to the dark side, turned demon, and he just couldn't take it. It was such a shame. He killed himself. And when Zenitsu found out, he locked in. He was like, all right, no more fun and games, no more being a bitch. I'm gonna be on it. This is what Grandpa wanted. I gotta lock in. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, because besides like getting just like kind of bitten, essentially, you can also like sometimes a demon will like hit up someone and be like, yo, you trying to be a demon? I can give you some of my blood. So there are some demons that like chose to be demons. For context, for people that are like, I just want to know more about the show kind of vibe. Yeah, that was fun. Their fight was really cool. What other big fights happened? There's one with why am I blanking on his name? The main dude, what's his name?
Tanjiro?
I said it like a bunch of times. Tanjiro. Yeah, Tanjiro did some fighting too, but I kind of forget that one as much. On what happened with that one. But
him and
that one kind of gets muddy. It's like him and the other dude. The dude who's like
the reluctant water Hashira.
He's like a blue like Giyu. Motif. Yeah, like that dude.
Tomioka.
Yeah. They fought together, but I don't remember that one as well, which I feel like.
Yeah. Well, that was like how the movie ended. Ended with them fighting the original guy who killed the fire Hashira and Mugen Train.
Right, yeah. Right, there we go.
They were fighting him. Tanjiro unlocked some like sixth sense. He basically unlocked Ultra Instinct for those who also watch Dragon Ball, where it's like, oh shit, Tanjiro, like he always had a good sense of smell. He could always like see the thread of someone, where like once he sees the thread, he can like do the killing blow against the demon or whatever. He unlocked like a super version of that in the middle of the fight, and is like able to like fucking like move through time or some shit, and like can just effortlessly kill. And it kind of goes back to like the whole fire dance that his family, his dad did, and his family did, his lineage was like in charge of doing and stuff, that like that demon also was trying to unlock and never could. It very much was like a Dragon Ball Super kind of moment, now that I think about it.
You're like, wait a minute, this is
yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is the exact same thing. It's like Beerus wanted to go Ultra Instinct. He never could master it. Goku did it. this demon wanted to go
Copy
Ultra
my
Instinct.
homework, but don't make it obvious.
Yeah, fags. That's really funny.
That is really funny. Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I thought it was cool. That was fun. It definitely hit the moment where I was like, we were watching. I'm like, yo, this is like going on forever. I can't believe they're gonna still kill Michael Jackson after this. And of course they don't. It kind of ends with them fighting that demon, and credits start rolling. And mind you, they didn't even really beat the demon. To be honest with you, the demon just kind of like gave up. Which I thought like in a little bit of a character redemption kind of thing. You do get his backstory and how, you know, why he wants to be so strong and all this stuff like you kind of talked about. Like when a demon dies, they give you the backstory then. Basically, this dude got beheaded as a demon, and like you get his backstory, and it turns out like, oh, like his wife and mentor, like he was a degenerate. He ended up being brought in by this dude, this like dojo guy who owns a dojo, and the dojo owner's daughter ends up like becoming his wife. He loves her, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden like a competing dojo comes in and like kills his father-in-law and wife. And then he just goes on like a rampage again. He's a degenerate rampage. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to be the best. Now I'm going to always be the best fighter to protect them and blah, blah, blah. And that's like his reason for fighting. Right. And then they get to the point where they behead him as a demon, and he still comes back because his will to fight is so strong. But then like his weird ghost wife like holds his hand and is like, oh, you don't have to fight anymore. Just come be with me, blah, blah, blah. And then he kills himself. So like they didn't even really beat him. They couldn't even do it. They couldn't destroy the op. They had to let the op.
They beat him up here mentally in his head.
He beat himself up here, okay?
A win is a win.
A win
On the
is a
scoreboard,
win.
it's going to say Demon Slayer's won. The
That
other
is
guy's not
fair.
one, you know? It's like, yeah. Other things from Demon Slayer. Yeah, I mean, again, it's been a while, so it's hard to get into like hyper specifics, but like with Mugen Train, I just remember watching that and like being like, oh my God, like so many, like I was so shocked by the things happening. I was watching it and you'd gone to sleep. I feel like you maybe were sick or something. Because you're not normally like the one to go to bed first. And I wasn't up crazy late either. I just remember you were in like the room. And maybe you fell asleep early. Like you're like, oh, I'm going to lay down and just fell asleep. Because I was texting you like my reactions watching it. And I was looking at my heart rate while I was watching it. And it was like spiking up. It was like you're stressed out. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So that was really fun. Big shout out to that. And I feel like it's interesting. Obviously it would be a spoiler. I kind of wish I almost said this in the non-spoiler section. Just throw it out there. But I feel like if you watch a little bit of Demon Slayer and you're like, I don't really like this, I say, fuck it. If you're like this or quitting, fucking jump to Mugen Train. It's obviously going to spoil stuff for you because it's like later in the thing. But that has, I feel like, everything that's good about Demon Slayer. I feel like if you don't like Mugen Train, you just don't like Demon Slayer. Because like that's them. That's the best version of everything they do was in Mugen Train. And I still think, especially with Infinity Castle just inherently not being the whole story, I definitely think Mugen Train is better than Infinity Castle. I don't know if you feel that as well. It's hard to compare because there's like one's a full package and one isn't.
Yeah. One I think I like them both for different reasons. Like I think Mugen Train is a great like, oh, Tanjiro's a Demon Slayer now. Like it's a good first movie of him like being in the role of Demon Slayer. And Infinity Castle is really him being in the role of Hashira. Like they're kind of the same, but like different in it's like, you know, the beginning of his journey and kind of like the end of his journey. So it really depends on just what you like more. I think I go Infinity Castle only because I think the ramifications of everything, the importance of everything is bigger. It's more urgent. It's more scary if something fails or someone fails or whatever.
The castle also looks cool.
Castle looks dope. Yeah, I don't know. It is something about that like that end game to Infinity War kind of you know, some culmination of everything happening that's pretty dope. Unfortunately, it's not done.
No, it's not. It was awesome getting to watch it in theaters.
That was really cool.
My only wish is that I had more snacks. Since it being so long, because I got through those nachos pretty fast. But like the nachos and the drink and everything. It's funny because we just did our episode talking about a little bit about movies, and I mentioned a little bit about watching it where it's like, oh, there were some kids, and like the kids sometimes would be like, oh my God, and the parents were like, shut the fuck up, and the kid would like chill out, and that's fine. Yeah, and you know, I don't know. it's funny because again, it's not really a kids thing, but like there are kids that like it. So like I get that if you're gonna watch an anime movie in theaters, there's gonna be kids there. Honestly, as they should. Like I think I watched one of the Dragon Ball Z movies in theaters because those hit theaters, right? Like, or is this a false memory I have?
Some of them did, yeah. Maybe not all of them.
I think I at least watched one of them.
Yeah, a lot of them were direct to DVD or Blue.
I'm not
VHS,
trying to gatekeep off of kids. I'm just like, wow, like this is a lot. It's like very violent. Yeah, but that was fun. Other Demon Slayer highlights that I want to talk about that are spoiler based. I do wish that the cutesy girl was a little less like boy crazy, like ditzy kind of seeming.
Oh,
and I wish shirt covered her chest. Yeah, those are my wishes. I do feel, yeah. I wasn't car with that because I'm like, wait, how old is she again? I don't even remember, but they definitely set her up for some things. They set her up to have a hard life. You know, it's like, why'd you do this to this girl?
I guess she's not the flower Hashira. What is she? What Hashira is she?
She's the love Hashira.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm glad that they don't make her too grating, again, for her archetype of being like, oh my god, he's so cute.
Kanroji.
It's like, okay, girl, like, yeah. But yeah, she's fun, but they do give her a lot of like pick me traits. Like she has like a very squeaky voice. She's obsessed with boys. She eats so much, but she's still so thin. It's like, okay, girl, like
she's dense, you know, like that's.
And they do make it a negative, like how much she, you know, like societally, like she gets like shit for like. It's like, oh, you're not gonna be like a desired wife because like you eat too much. Like, people don't want you because you have your weird colored hair because you're always eating your treats and the treats made your hair pink and green, you know, kind of thing. So like they gave her some dimension, but it is kind of like, okay, you kind of made a pick me princess here, and she is cute and has like fun. Her moves are really cool and stuff, and I think it helps that she is like very strong and like capable and stuff. Like they do enough to make it like I can't be too mad at it, but it is kind of like. You know, it's like when the show wreck hits, it's like I'm like, hey man, like I don't approve of everything they did here, you know, kind of vibe. Even to a degree, fair. Like the dude having all the wives, that's a bit much because also he has like, these big titty wives, and it's like that whole area of the show has a lot of titty, but by then I already like all the other stuff, so I said I'm just gonna let some titties slide. And they also don't do too much with it. It's like I'm not gonna say you can't have your big titted wife because at least she's not throwing them things in my face, so it's like chill to me. But it is kind of like a, you know.
I'm trying to think of an anime that doesn't have a character with big titties, and like their thing is they have big titties. Like they have other stuff too.
Frierin's been tittyless so far. It's a flat chested show.
There's that one mage that got big titties.
Oh, they kind of do. Who is that? That's the.
At the end.
Does she Ubel, the evil one?
No,
I don't think she really has big titties. Okay.
No, not Ubel. She's like at the end. She's not a like main character kind of thing. But she was in there. Yeah. She was the one who could do like the mind control or whatever. I don't know. We're getting super off topic. She was a mage.
But. Okay, yeah, we're gonna this could be its own show if I felt like doing it, but I don't want to. I just feel like that stuff is usually like done up in like a head ass way. I will say in Demon, the reason it doesn't bother me as much in Demon Slayer is even though these characters do have big titties, and I feel like they did it to be like you're gonna know they have big, because I feel like there's people in real life that have big titties, so I'm not like, oh, you can't have a big titty character, but when the big titty character always got the least amount of boob support when you need the most amount of boob support, because how you fight with these big titties. So the thing that makes me not bothered by it is they don't have like, they don't play it up, you know. It's not, they're not adding all these jiggle physics or making all these things. It's just like,
that's true.
Hey man, he got some wives and some of these wives be packing. It's like, but they do kind of do a lot with the whole like, it's just a bit much. It's like you're doing a lot right now, but yeah, generally the show's pretty cool about that stuff. I don't know, other things to talk about. I like the element of the working with the one demon, the Lady Tamayo or whatever. I'm kind of waiting still for that shoe to drop, because like I get, it's funny because we got to Infinity Castle and I'm like, I guess she's just down for the cause, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting for her to fuck us over for a while. I've been like, look, you can say, call me prejudiced if you want to against the demons, I'll take it, but
once a demon, always a demon.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like I was cool. She's kind of our only hope of like coming up with a cure, so it's like whatever. But I was like, I don't know. It just feels like it'd be kind of interesting if they did make it where it's like she's not just Miss Goody Goody, but I guess she's just down for the cause. Other thing I want to touch on. What's the name of the sister again? Nezuko?
Yeah.
Bro, when Nezuko talked, I wanted to cut her head off because what do you mean? It's creepy and weird. Hi.
I mean,
good
that's
morning.
only because she hasn't talked in like years at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
and I want to go back to those years.
No,
she was scary talking,
you can't be mean to Nezuko.
She was so scary. Also, you know me, I like my dark shit. I did kind of want her to die because I want to see what happens after that.
You're crazy.
What happens after that?
They need
and they showed me the death montage, and she didn't die.
Yeah, because they needed her. She's the coolest one. She's like the best demon. She conquered the sun. Okay, she could be out in the sun.
I kind of like got with it where it's like, oh, now she's like even more in danger. Like, it's like, okay, it makes sense. Like, whatever. It's like, oh, this is the demon that Michael Jackson's been searching for because he wants, the only thing he hasn't conquered is he still has to not be in the sun. And once he can be in the sun, he's just about to tear the whole world up.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't accept it from that standpoint, but it was just like, it would have been more interesting in a way. Like, I'm not like mad at it, but it's like, I was kind of like, wow, they really killed her. And then they didn't. I was like, oh, damn, you didn't. Something that we should touch on is the fact that you don't care about anyone dying if they're not your main characters, because I'll see that whole town get obliterated.
No.
You're just like,
it's not that I don't.
You're so
care.
funny. You texted me the big titty mage. I feel like nah. I mean, I think she has large breasts, but she ain't a big titty mage. This is I forget her name. Still, because not in this thing. Methode, yeah. Like, and this is what I mean. You can have a big-breasted character that ain't a big-titted character. Because the thing is, they might, like, I feel like a lot of people would have put Methode in, like, a bikini top and been like, I don't know. She's just born that way. And it's like, yeah, but
give
you
it time.
dressed
We don't know
her.
what happens in season 2, all right? We don't know what happens.
But I feel like if Methode takes her top off now, that's called character dimension. If you give me her and when she don't got no top on, it's like, I feel like you just wanted me to see some titties. Which I don't got nothing against titties, but it's like time and place. I feel like let's be demure. Let's be mindful with it.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like sometimes Demon Slayer, I feel like you're doing too much. You know what I mean?
All right.
A little bit.
All right.
A little bit, but yeah, you don't care about the townspeople died. You didn't give a fuck about the Swordsmith Village.
Swordsmith Village. I think that there were definitely deaths there, but they weren't unnamed characters. They were just the people of the village.
Because during Swordsmith's Village, I was screaming. I was screaming watching that with you. Because they were getting boom, boom, boom.
I also don't know how many people. Like, people definitely died. I'm not gonna try and downplay it and say that like
you're really giving Vanessa Hudgens. Really people will die, which is bad, but inevitable. I shouldn't be saying this right now. Like, that's really the energy you're moving with.
No,
let me also Google to make sure that was Vanessa Hudgens. I'm not dragging Vanessa by accident.
I'm in the camp that those people they are a part of the Demon Slayer core. They're not, the people with swords going out, but they're a part of it. They they do this. They knew the risk. They signed up for it. They were about it. They're for it. They are willing to put Vanessa their life Hudgens. On the line. Okay. That's a part of the job. They took that job. They knew what they were doing. I respect them for their service. Thank you for their service. And, hey, some of them had to go because they got attacked. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to be sad for all of them. There's like 80 people there who probably died.
I like that arc a lot as well.
Yeah.
The whole village. It was fun seeing the village, and you got a little break at first. The break got interrupted. And it was cool seeing that one dude, I forget his name, make Tanjiro's like super sword almost or whatever. He was like working on it for
his like sword.
He's like, if I stop, my heart stops or some shit. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, just like a nice layer of like, oh my god, like, don't go in that
also
shed.
Hot,
my grandpa's
incredibly
in there.
good looking when his like he got like hit and his mask fell off, and he's just
it was crazy to see he was hot.
Adonis looking dude.
Was he old though too, or was he not old?
No,
I thought he was
like
old. Yeah,
normal adult age.
He's like a regular age. Yeah. So that was crazy. It was crazy seeing that he was hot. For no reason. Like, he's like, I had to be sexy to make the swords better or whatever. Like, other character reveals too. Boar guy whose name we never Googled because I keep forgetting to. It's funny to see that he's pretty.
Inosuke.
I thought that was a cute little surprise. Inosuke. Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Yeah,
you see him at the the town that has the dude with all the wives or whatever. And it's like he has to be a girl and he's so beautiful. I'm like, oh my god, he's pretty. That's just a cute little thing for his character. Because his character is such like I'm a tough guy, and it's like, nah, you're pretty lady.
You're pretty
he's honestly
lady.
He's a pretty lady. And he's pretty as a boy. He's very much giving my guy's pretty like a girl. That's a Inosuke for sure. Which is fun.
District. There we go.
Yeah. Other things you want to shout out that are spoilerific?
Oh man. I am honestly just kind of excited to see where they go with it now. In a way, I'm not excited that I have to wait, but I am excited to like, at least if they're gonna take their time, if they're gonna break this like whole finale into like 3 different movies, I guess I should be happy that just means we're getting more Demon Slayer. You know what I mean? I definitely would have rather this had been just a series so that I can get a little piecemeal every so often instead of having to wait like 2 years before the next part comes out, and then like 2 years after that. Like I think this isn't wrapping up until like 2029 or something
Holy
like that. Holy shit.
Our lives
yeah, they're
totally
milking this
then.
thing. Yeah, facts. Theaters might not even exist anymore, all right? Everything could be streaming by then.
Oh my God.
But, so I don't know. I was very disappointed going in and finding that out. I was sad when the one Hashira lady died. Although I will say, if any Hashira was to die, she was probably the best one because she was the weakest fighter, and they really need to be able to fight. I can't wait to see your boy who's a hoodie you have. I want to see him fight the number 1 upper rank.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I know he's gonna go crazy. I don't even know who's gonna fight him.
Which
like,
it's funny because
I
bought that sweater after watching 2 episodes. I'm like, I think I'm gonna like the anime. I'm gonna risk it because his design is very cool. And I think it's still cool. I'm still generally glad I have it, but I am like, damn, he's evil. Because I thought it was kind of just generic demon. Like I wasn't sure like if it was a character or what, but also they're gonna give him some dimension, so I'm sure it'll be fine. And he's also kind of like the OG in a way. They kind of got some hints at that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, there was the one small thing I wanted to mention. I'm sure other things would come to mind if we went even longer and just kept reminiscing on the show. But Mugen Train, Tanjiro has to kill himself over and over again in the dream world. That was crazy. I never wanted it that bad. You know what I mean? Like that.
And he almost
like,
did it
so
in the
cool.
real world.
Yeah, it's because he was getting confused. He had to do it so fast. That shit was gangster as fuck. Like I think that's what's fun about Tanjiro, where he's very much where there's a will, there's a way kind of character. And I like that they don't just make it like he's not that strong, but somehow, oops, the demon's head fell off. Like it's like, he's doing crazy shit to be able to get by, because that's what the job requires.
Mental fortitude,
Yes, he wants to succeed as bad as he wants to water breathe. Like that's where is he at? But yeah, fun times.
I hate to see him coming.
Exactly, fun times. I'm excited to see the other movies with you. I'm excited to go to that Infinity Castle Cafe. I'll Google that after the show to see how long it is lasting. It's like in LA-ish. It's like a little bit to the east. Cool. And that brings us to poll of the show. Poll of the show. Hopefully you skipped ahead if you needed to. And in reality, I feel like you might have just ended the episode, but I hope you're here. And if you're here, a very special thanks to you. All right, so poll the show. Last week, we asked about your thoughts on Resident Evil. Have you played it? Did you like it? And concerts. What was your first? What was your last? Isaiah, what do the people have to say?
Surprisingly, no one's played Resident Evil. At least of the people who answered the poll. We have about 2/3 who haven't played it and they don't plan to, and about 1/3 who it's on their docket. They're looking to get to it. And then for concerts, we had some fun first concerts. We had a Van Halen, that's pretty cool. Carlos Santana, and POD, which is in American Christian new metal band, according to Google. I had no idea who they are. But hey, sounds cool. And then for more recent ones, Skindred, who I also don't know who they are. Poppy or Vince Staples at the top of the year. Vince Staples is pretty cool. I like them. And then the Beaches on their No Hard Feelings tour.
I think over I know the Beaches.
GA. That's pretty cool.
Nice. They did mention Vince needs to up his stage presence. Skating the listener. That's a big problem with a lot of
movies. You know,
a lot of like rappers have that problem. There are some that do a really good show, but sometimes it's like can be a little dry. And then we also had some optional like things to share. We had someone write in and kind of say that they said, as a big concert head who's now married, I'm running into this situations where cheaper tickets I buy a couple months in advance turn into a night in one day. Hard for me to judge because we told our story about missing Tyler, which is like a huge deal. And I'm sure that wasn't that cheap. It wasn't expensive, but it wasn't that cheap just because we were so tired. They said most of the time, one of us is just tired, at least to a night in. And I will force myself to go if I'll regret missing it. If then there's finding a good spot. Most Twin City venues we frequent have standing room only. And as a tall guy in my 30s, there's usually crowd etiquette to consider too. Just an interesting part of getting older and finding out what I value. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we run into a lot because I feel like it's great to have plans until you have to do them. But then if you never do any plans, you're like, wow, I haven't done anything. Like I'm wasting away. I have no social life and my mental health is probably not doing well, nor is my physical. So yeah, I kind of just signed up for stuff and then I'm like, we're just doing this. Even though a lot of times, though I'm not going to lie, the like canceling on something like does kind of hit. And sometimes it's necessary. Like I know we missed a Galaxy game a few weeks ago because I think I was just tired. Maybe I was coming off of being sick. I don't remember. But I remember being the one that called it and I could tell that you were like, fuck yeah, free night back.
All right. Yeah, cool with me.
Kind of vibe. So yeah, tough to navigate. Thank you for sharing. Then we had someone who said, is on my side. Yay. I wrote written on my burner. Clapping at movies is nuts. No one who should be receiving the applause can hear you. I never thought of it that way. At least on the plane, maybe the pilot hears you. The other people, like
the flight attendants or
like
a play.
Not that I'm down for the plane clap either. But that is a funny thing. I never thought of that. Nobody hears you. But
although,
I don't know. I do react to it like when I watch sports and TV.
They might be in those theaters.
I think one time they were.
Here. Exactly.
When we went to Glass Onion, I'm pretty sure some people that worked on Glass Onion were there. They had their Glass Onion Netflix suits on.
So they could actually be there to hear you in very
so unless you're moments. At the Batman Theater in LA, as we dub it, one of the Valley Theaters has a Batman statue, then maybe not so much. What are we asking people this week?
This week we're going to be asking people what they're currently playing. We talked about what we're playing at the top of the podcast, and the last movie they saw in theaters, which again, I was trying to figure this out the other day, and I think Demon Slayer was the last thing we saw in theaters. So not only are we due for another theater outing, but just curious to see, when's the last time
we'll be there for Spider-Man. I'm excited.
I at the worst case, the next thing we see in theaters will be Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
That'll be fun. I'm sure we'll do an episode on that once that drops. Random thing that came to mind has nothing to do with the show, but Isaiah, I want to share this with you. So you know how there's like the word intro? Did you know some people, like specifically music people, sometimes hate the word outro? Like they were like stickler people that like don't use that when you're talking about sheet music because it's a word that doesn't mean anything. Have you ever thought of this? There's no outroduction.
Why not?
There isn't. Like, there's a word introduction. There isn't intro is short for introduction.
Sure.
Outro isn't short for anything. Isn't that kind of crazy? I never thought of that.
It's short for introduction. What do you mean? We created that word. It is
no,
now.
We didn't. But isn't that like interesting? If you don't find it interesting,
that is funny.
So, but you don't gotta find it. I found that kind of interesting. Funny. I thought because I wrote outro towards the end of the show, and I was like, there is no outroduction. Anyway.
I mean, it's got an entry in Wikipedia, which is enough for me.
Outroduction?
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to. What's Merriam-Webster say? Let's go to my favorite spot.
Merriam-Webster. Let's see.
Maybe they do have it in there.
They just have outro.
Yeah, see? When that goes into Merriam-Webster, then that's when I'll count it. But that being said, spoilers for how I'm into this show with our outroduction to say that's it for this week. You can send us your questions and topics to inbox@gamesandnotgames.com. You can follow the podcast version of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to give us that 5-star rating.
5 stars.
Cinco Diamantes.
And if you're an audio listener, remember that you can get the video version over on YouTube at Games and Not Games. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment, as it helps us get the show in front of more people. You also give us a follow on social media. We're pretty much everywhere at Games and Not Games. That's mainly BlueSKy, TikTok, Twitch, and Backlogged. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Peace.